Learning languages is not easy. It could be a little annoying. So in this video, we're going to talk about things they don't tell you about learning English or any other language in general. It takes patience. At first, you're so excited to do it. You're really motivated. You have no problems just sitting down and learning stuff and memorizing stuff, and you're excited about the idea. But then after some time, it starts wearing off. The reality kind of sets in. And you experience one of the most typical problems that English learners or language learners go through. And the problem is the results don't come as fast as you want them to. And you just get straight up frustrated. You're frustrated with the language itself. You're frustrated with yourself, with the speed you're going at. You start creating these stories in your head of how if you just devoted more time to it, if you weren't lazy, even if you're not lazy at all, you start creating these stories in your head that you're too lazy and you could be spending more time on it. But you have to understand that even if you had all the time in the world, there's only so much that your brain can take, all right? It's impossible for you to memorize 100 words a day. It can't be done. So you have to understand that the more you push yourself on a daily basis, the worse it could get. And the last thing you need and the last thing you want is to burn out and just start hating the language that you really want to learn. So you got to believe and have this almost blind faith in the process and do the stuff that you can do. Take as much time as you can take and do it consistently and believe that it'll pay off in the future. Be patient. You can't force it. It's not going to work. You can try to achieve some amazing results really fast, but you are taking a risk. And you want the process to be very steady and not sort of, I'm learning a lot, I'm quitting for a month. I'm learning a lot, I'm quitting again. You don't want to do that. And I know this is the last thing you want to hear right now, but this is just the reality of it. You're always unhappy. And this one is pretty fresh for me because, I learned English a while ago, right? I mean, it's been some time. So my student experience is, it wasn't pretty fresh in my mind, but I recently started, several months ago, I started learning a new language. And everything just came back to me. And this is a big one. You start beating yourself up and punishing yourself for things you shouldn't really be upset about. I am not where I want to be, or I should be putting more effort in, or I should be taking more time. Well, if you don't have the time and if you don't have the energy and you're doing your best, I mean, what are we talking about here? And also another thing is, if you know someone who's doing the same thing, but this person is a little further along, you start having resentments and jealousy. Look, this person is so much better, so much further along than me. And I want to be just like this person and I hate it and I can't deal with it. And some people could be motivated by it, but some people could be really upset about it and could be really down about it. And it could actually sort of deter them from really, really making an effort. But what you have to know is it's a natural process. It's very normal. It's very normal to be unhappy when you're learning a language because, it's just not easy, period. And the things that you feel are perfectly normal. Matter of fact, you're supposed to feel this way because it just shows you care. It shows you really want to do it. And that's great. If you feel nothing about it at all, well, maybe you shouldn't be learning this language, Or maybe you need a reminder as to why you started. You know what I mean? So this is normal. Just allow yourself to feel these emotions. Allow yourself to feel the frustration and try to channel this energy into, something positive, like learning more and, continuing to do it. But just go through it. Don't avoid it. Don't deny it. Just really feel it and remember what it feels like. And next time you open a book or start a course or start a practice session, remind yourself, remember what it feels like and allow it to fuel what you're doing. The more you learn, the more nervous you get. And that's a fact. When you first start, you have nothing to lose. You're free. You learn a couple of expressions, you learn how to say hello, how are you, thank you, please, all of that stuff. And you are so excited to try it out. You are so excited to play around with it and nothing is holding you back. But then when you start getting into some grammar and you start learning a little more, all of a sudden you feel like you have something to lose. You feel like, you've been learning for some time. You start creating these expectations in your head of what you should know, what you should sound like, and all of that nasty stuff. And then when you get opportunities to practice, you don't feel the same fire that you felt when you were starting. And you start, it starts feeling really precious to you, and it starts feeling really, how do I put this? You try to hold on to it so tight. Like, I have a certain reputation that I need to live up to because I've been learning for, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever the case may be. And you start getting stuck a little bit. You don't get excited by all the basic stuff anymore, right? And you don't really know all of the advanced stuff yet. So you're right in the middle, and you start feeling stuck, and you start feeling a little helpless. And this is actually a very important point that sort of determines how everything will play out later. And one thing that I like to do, or that I like to recommend people, we have a course, online course called From Intermediate to Advanced, that was designed for that specific problem. You can just shake things up and really start fresh in a way. And we can help you with that. And I'm gonna leave the link down below, and let's just move on. Pronunciation is super important. And a lot of people will tell you that it's not. But pronunciation is very important because of the fact that it gives you a little more confidence. In the time that you need it the most, it gives you that extra boost of confidence, because when you like the way you sound when you speak English or the language that you're learning, you will be motivated to do it more, to speak more. You speak more, that's more practice. More practice means you get better faster. And when you take great pleasure in actually generating the language, right, and speaking it, it's just positive all around. Pronunciation is really something you should get excited about, because you change the way you sound, right? You replace some of your old habits with some new ones, and it really helps you feel better about it. Even if you don't have enough vocabulary, even if you don't have enough grammar under your belt, you still have this picture, right? This presentation that is really nice. So you kind of protect yourself a little bit with that wall, and it does help you take it to the next level, because you don't feel as vulnerable. You feel sort of protected, and that's what we want. And I have an amazing pronunciation course where I literally teach you guys every single detail of every single sound, to the point where I tell you what to do with your lips, your mouth, your tongue, all of that. Like real detailed stuff. You can't really rely on your ears when you try to learn pronunciation, because even if you can hear it, it doesn't mean you can replicate it, right? And I take that mystery out of it completely, and I give you real technical knowledge of what those sounds are. And you can't do it in the wrong way. There's only one way to do it. If I tell you to put your tongue here and, shape your lips like this, there's only one way to do it. You can't get it wrong. So check it out in the description box as well. Vocabulary is king. When it comes to understanding English, right? Not even speaking, but understanding, vocabulary plays a huge role in that. Because even if you're not familiar with certain grammar, if you know the words, if you know the majority of the words in the sentence, you can sort of guess what it's about and what's being said. And when you learn grammar, it gets easier for you to, create examples and practice it in a variety of ways, because you know so many different words. But yeah, think of it this way, even for, just listening comprehension or reading, honestly, any kind of input, you see an English sentence before you really learn, and it looks, kind of like this. And then the more you learn vocabulary, the more you start unlocking those levels, right, in this game of learning English. And then the more you do it, the clearer it gets, even if you're not familiar with the grammar. And that's why vocabulary work is really important. So don't forget it, don't neglect it, treat it with respect, show it some tender love and care. Grammar helps your confidence. When you start learning, these fancy tenses and ways to build a sentence, it really helps you get a little more confident in the way you practice. Even if you sometimes reach outside of your level, and you reach up a little more and you learn something that, maybe you're not supposed to know yet, it truly helps you boost your confidence. Even if you're still at a stage of, hello, how are you? My name is, I'm from, whatever. Even if you learn something fancy like, I have been learning English for blank years or months, it's like a fancy little sentence that you can also use. And then you can use this tense to build other sentences. I have been living in blank for blank years. I have been playing golf for 2 years, right? You can use your other vocabulary with this tense to build these fancy sounding sentences. And it really helps you. It really helps you feel a little more confident, right? You need to get it anywhere you can. Learning a language is a very humbling experience. And, really, if you find some kind of promise of confidence, you need to grab it and hold on to it tight. And I have another great course about English tenses, everything you need to know about English tenses, where we break down all of them in a way that's easy to understand. And, I highly recommend this one. I'll leave the link below as well. Old school writing practice is everything. And this one is pretty new to me because back when I was learning English in 2011, 2012, it was still pretty regular and pretty normal to write by hand when you practice. Now everyone is typing everything, and of course there's autocorrect on almost every device. And it's getting more and more difficult to remember or learn how things are spelled, right? So when you practice writing, do it the old school way, pen and paper. It's very important to know how things are spelled. And, there's just something about the motion of it that really sort of makes you more confident in remembering this word, right? If you type, it's such a mindless motion, but when you write, you really pay attention to what you're doing. And it helps you learn words faster as well. So don't skip out on that. Very important. Old school practice, old school in the old school way. I feel so old saying that, oh my God. Don't learn just from one person. And this is also a new thing for me because back when I was learning English, there wasn't a lot of information out there. And it was, pretty difficult to find stuff. Now it's everywhere. And there's so many of us, right? And, you don't have to choose one. If you like my content, that's awesome. I'm very grateful. If you want to learn with me, that's amazing. If you take my course, I'm very happy about that. But, it doesn't mean that I'm the best. By far, I am not. There are so many great teachers out there, so much information, right? And some people view it as a bad thing, right? There's just too much information. I don't know which way to go. You don't have to choose. Learn from all of us. Learn from everything. It's still the same language. It's just we have slightly different approaches, right? And different ways we get to the same goal. But it's still the same goal, right? And maybe if you learn the same thing in many different ways, it'll be clearer or faster or easier or whatever the case may be, right? So watch all of us and learn from all of us because we all have our own strengths and individual things that we sort of do, right? We all have our little flavors and, why not? Try everything and do everything, and you don't have to choose one person. You don't have to choose one website, one blog, one account. We all just want to help you, and we all want to do it in our own individual ways. And take all of it. So much is being offered to you. Take it all. Don't limit yourself. And the last one is make it a habit. It's not crazy. Learning a language is not some crazy serious activity. It's not an amazing, groundbreaking activity. It's just a regular thing that you need to do consistently, like brushing your teeth, washing your face, taking a shower, going to the gym. It's not crazy. It's just a regular daily activity. So treat it as such. Sit down, even for a little bit, learn something. And then you get to a place where it's just a habit. It's just another part of your day. That's it. And you sit down and do it without even thinking about it. And that's beautiful. So do that, and don't think of it as anything more than what it is. All right, guys, well, this is it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I really appreciate all your support and comments. And if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. That would feel really great for me. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do not miss any of my content, all of my short videos and long videos and all of that. And I'm just really happy to be here, honestly. Feel free to leave your questions and suggestions in the comments, and I might address them in the next videos. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.